Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready. Just a question for people who had any type of surgery for epilepsy done. How often were you having seizures before you decided to have the surgery done?
I had six.
I haven't had any surgeries, but go ahead.
I've had six. Six. I can count. I was having seizures every week, and right before I had it was an interesting line of events because they asked me before the seizures got worse if electronic clinics if I wanted to prepare for surgery, and I said yes, let's just get it over with. And goodbye Lexi also. And then they started prepping me for surgery, and then I started having seizures where I would be aware as in I could see what was going on, but I couldn't talk and I couldn't move, but I knew that but I could feel everything like moving, and it hurt like hell. And those went away, and then after those I just started having seizures where I'd wake up in the emergency room because they had gone on for too long, and my parents had to call 911 because I would have died otherwise. And at the point where I was just like waking up in the emergency room every single week, then like they finished prepping me for surgery, and I was specifically told, if we had not started making plans for surgery right when you said let's make plans for surgery, your epilepsy would have killed you by now. I had 2 SEEGs, so I don't know if those count as surgeries, and I had 3 or 4 resections, and the resections were just taking out because I kept having seizures after that. And I have like severe epilepsy. I mentioned earlier that I had to be isolated for 9 years because someone in the hospital just went up to my mom and said she cannot be in a room with someone unless they are watching her, or she cannot be out of I don't know how to phrase this. She cannot be out of sight of someone who is willing and knows how to care for seizures for more than 5 minutes at a time. And so that limited my that's why I have more internet friends than I do real friends, because I couldn't really go out that much, and so I just online, that was kind of my only option. And
well, God bless you for not going all rebellious.
Thank you.
That could have cost your life.
No, I'm Mom always said if she had gone on this epilepsy journey with anybody else, with any other personality, it would have been even worse hell than it already was. It would have, and she like thanks me for like not ever getting mad at her specifically for the isolation. But yeah, I've always that was, I'd say surgery was the only option for me because I would have died otherwise. It's so weird because I'm supposed to be like, I'm 20 and I'm supposed to be like, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Like, it's so confusing because everyone is, I feel like, a lot more. I guess I didn't really have a childhood. That's why I've got all these stuffed animals constantly around me. Is because I didn't really have and I collect toys and stuff like that. Is because for most of the time that I was where others
feel
were
robbed.
yeah, I feel robbed because my epilepsy it started when I was 2 and then it came back when I was 8 and then it got worse and worse and worse and worse and then I spent all of my teenage years in the hospital. So I don't know a lot of what I didn't get a childhood and I don't know a lot of what teenage people no. My old psychologist told me once that while other people were out exploring the world and learning through that, I was inside exploring cartoon worlds, and that's how my brain dealt with that. And I don't even know, and it's just like,
So I kind of got overstimulated for a second. I didn't hear everything that you said, but I just heard some of it now. I also, I don't know, I again didn't catch your entire thing, but I also like pretty much grew up in like the hospital, which was the psych ward, so I didn't know anything that the other kids my age or even people my age now. So it's like really hard for me to reintegrate into society when I'm used to the chaos of the psych ward and that's my normal.
Yeah, everybody, my parents, my doctors, they would always say that the hospital was my second home.
Yeah.
And I would just, because
I didn't even go to school. I dropped out in 8th grade and I passed 8th grade and then the rest of it was just in the psych ward or in residentials because there was so much going on that was my normal. And to come out into the real world where people didn't experience what I experienced at such a young age was like,
and it's so
what the heck? Like, what do you mean you don't experience a woman standing over you at night talking to herself or someone trying to bite you? What do you mean you didn't experience that as a kid or like learn that in the cycle?
Yes, I at college orientation it was so odd because I was like looking at all the people around me and I was like, and I was like, they all like, I don't have anything against them, of course.
No.
But I'm like, they're all so strangely taller than I am, and they're all like,
sorry, I had to mute my.
And they all like know the same things as each other, and they're all for some reason wearing the exact same matching gold bracelets, and I'm like, and I remember just like being like, oh, this is college girl. Yeah, I'm not one of those. I'm going to college, but I'm not college girl.
Yeah, I'm not like any of the other people my age. Sorry, my mom just came home, so I might be muted for a second.
Don't worry about it.
Before you go, Lufa,
I'm still gonna be here.
What's your Reddit username?
Oh, Lufa shows the same thing here.
Lufa shows, okay. Mine's in my Zoom thing. It's sad.
Okay, perfect. I'll still be here. I just have to mute myself because my mother is back home from work.
You know, my 21-year-old daughter is not, she's into anime and she draws on a tablet and she was in college, but she's not a college girl at all. So don't worry about it, okay? Really...
I met a couple other people who who were definitely not college girls. The only problem with the one I got closest to was they threw us a party at the end of college orientation, and throughout the entire thing, I had told her that I had epilepsy, and like throughout the entire party, she just kept leaving. Because the party had like 2 or 3 different rooms, and she just kept leaving whatever room she was in and coming up to me and saying, "Hey, are you okay?" And I kept being like, "Yeah," and she was like, "Okay, great." And then at the end of the night, she was when I said goodbye to her, she was like, I'm really sorry we didn't get to hang out as much, and we didn't. And I don't know if that was like intended as a like we should have spent more time together, or like as a I feel bad for you thing. I hope it was. the continuing finding me and are you okay thing was probably that, but you know,
I had
Sometimes
get
actually,
people go overboard with empathy.
I had brought it up earlier actually, where you're just trying to be normal, and someone like people just keep checking in with you, and it's
Yeah.
like just because I have epilepsy doesn't mean if I'm feeling off, you need to check in with me. Also, you don't need to check in with me just because every 2 seconds.
yes, you get it, Brandon.
I'm gonna go down on that one too because I agree. I feel like it's people said like they
No,
define
we're
us
not.
by our epilepsy. And
No.
I don't want you to just call me. You're just checking on me to say, how are you feeling? And I feel like I always do. It's frustrating. It's annoying when
Yeah.
people just seem to like want to check in and worry about you. I don't know. I don't like that feeling of somebody worried about me because I feel like when somebody's putting their worries on me, then it makes me worry about more about shit. So
Well, that was another thing that got tied into like that conversation earlier, where it's like I'm the one who is having the seizure. You can't worry more about it than me. Like I'm already worried. I need you to relax to
yeah.
like sort of keep the situation calm.
How about you hold it for me? Because I'm the one that's about to freak the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's gonna have the problem. Can
Yeah.
you freak out after I
Yeah.
have my problem?
One sort of workaround that I found to the constantly checking on people is uh constantly checking on them, but like not in a malicious way. Like I mentioned that earlier that I have more online friends. Because I'm constantly, listening to their worries and stuff like that. I've had genuine conversations where someone has messaged me and said, "I didn't know you had epilepsy," despite the fact that it's in my bio on every single social media. And like my first reaction is always, "Wow, how do they not know I have epilepsy?" But
Or
also,
like-
it's so refreshing to hear that.
Yeah, or like it's in my username for something. It's literally epileptic Ia, and I'm like, yeah, I have epilepsy. I didn't just put it there for shits and giggles.
Beautiful,
Oh.
beautiful. So you two are now lifelong friends. All right. So there's this one post here about it's titled "Herbalist Seeking Perspective," and this one sounds like they might actually want to learn. It's they started off by saying, "I'm completing a clinical herbalism program this summer, and for my final project, I want to learn directly from the epilepsy community. Your lived experiences matter more than textbooks alone." So beautiful intro. They gave some background on themselves, saying they had epilepsy for over 10 years, but seizures stopped, and now they're going into to 29-year-old female training to support others through herbal and complementary therapies. They ask a list of questions, pretty much similar to what we do here on the intros. What are you taking? When's your last seizure? Things like that. And the answer here about an alternative therapy is passion flower. Never heard of that. Definitely, it was never suggested to me. And now it looks like it's something that's out there. It's legit. You can make
Are you
a
serious?
tea. You can make tea out of it, and a lot of people say it acts like a benzo. It just kind of helps you calm down.
We had a passion flower vine between us and our neighbors for 20 years. It actually was so much, it was holding the fence up on both sides. We just left it alone. But it would have the most beautiful flowers. Yeah. Wow. No way. That's crazy. I'm very familiar with it. And I'm familiar with the fruit too, which is very weird. Passion flower fruit, very strange. Anyway, anybody else familiar with passion flower vine?
Well, no, but
Flowers?
we got to be skeptical about this because any herbalist it has to be the right proportion, has to be the right, dosage, and
Yeah, like
you
when
got to
do
know.
you harvest
Yeah.
them, right? Like, are they supposed to be dry? Are they supposed to be moist and then you dry them? This is a question because, like, a lot of times animals eat them before they would get dry.
Even
Or
if this
vine.
does work, first, we don't know if this even does work. So
Wait,
or
sorry.
if it's one of those things that you can develop a tolerance to and
What we're talking about?
things like that.
Well-
Passion flower as a natural treatment for epilepsy,
And
Huh.
and
how do we know it
it's
doesn't
from a
interfere with your
post.
meds?
Exactly.
Um,
If well, I mean, the first red flag for me was that I see it says not recommended for breastfeeding.
Oh,
So
yeah, okay.
Oh.
there's
A lot
that.
of those, yeah, a
well,
lot of
you
those
always
recommended
gotta
for-
cover your ass with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just, you know,
Oh, please.
anything. Just,
No, these shitheads are telling me to take all the meds, another
um,
1,000 milligrams, and good luck to your kid. No, fuck that. That's why
I
I'm all about learning about these alternative treatments, because these
I
doctors are
don't
so
know
heartless
about
and they're men.
I
the
personally don't
effectiveness
plan on
for
becoming
treating
like.
it, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
sorry, I don't know about the effectiveness for treating it, but back in the day, I experimented with a lot of abuse of various different substances, and a lot of that extended to unconventional sources of good times, I guess, for lack of a better word. But the passion flower, it does actually have a sedating effect, which makes sense given what they've said in the, like the Wikipedia article or like the Psychonaut Wiki place, that it has an action on the GABA A receptors, which is the receptor that the benzodiazepine reacts to. So that makes sense. That lines up. But it takes a lot of it to feel any sort of calming effect. The best way would be to, in my experience, was to make a tea out of it and drink a tea from the flowers, or better yet, to get the capsules of the dried up extract, which is basically the tea with all of the water evaporated out of it. It's just a powder. And it's, you know, it's like a little bit of a benzodiazepine, but it's nowhere near like what you feel from even a small dose of like an oral, um not even the rescue med stuff. So it's not something to consider for controlling, for a baseline um anything. um More of a curiosity than anything else, but it it seems like there is at least a little bit of merit to the ideas behind it, um, which is kind of surprising. I don't usually take these herbalist claims very seriously, but that one worked. Back in my college days, at least. I don't know, maybe things have changed in the past 15, 20 years.
Hey, I'm glad you can remember, what worked
Yes.
and how well, and like you said, just use that
I'm s-
information and kind of learn from it.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but my service dog just hopped up on my bed.
Aw,
And they're
that's a
adorable.
beautiful puppy.
This is Trixie.
Yeah, I know Trixie's not a puppy, but I'll always call mine a puppy.
She acts
They're
like
all
a puppy.
puppers.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, you doing okay? You seem like you're getting exhausted there.
Um, yeah, I took a spoonful of RSO, and it's effective.
Fair enough. Okay.
So,
Want to make sure
yeah.
you're doing okay. You seemed like you were fading a little, so.
Yeah,
What's
oh yeah.
RSO?
the cannabis oil, Rick Simpson oil. Just
And it's strong. It is.
yeah,
It is strong.
yeah,
Is it like is it marijuana?
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Hardcore marijuana.
Interesting. I'm not
Hey,
cutting
anything
that.
that's intended for cancer treatment, is
Mhm.
probably pretty
It is.
concentrated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they use it for a lot
were
of medical
discussing it
purposes.
last time.
yeah, yeah. It binds to the fatty materials a lot like, I mean, like can of butter basically, but without the butter part of it. So, just get it in a little syringe and squirt out like 2 or 3 drops worth, and a spoonful of peanut butter is like an entire joint
What
and a
is that called
mouthful
again?
Rick
after.
Simpson oil.
Okay.
Yeah, Rickson, RSO is usually abbreviated.
Is it anything like
And-
CBD oil? I take CBD oil.
But it's more the
Um,
THC version.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but the full
enjoy
plant
yourself, Mark.
spectrum. Yes, I
Oh,
am
he's enjoying
enjoying
himself.
it's yes, I'm enjoying
Get
this
a good
conversation.
look at that Pedro Pascal GIF and hang out.
I might try some of
What?
that
M went
if I can
away
find
after I
it.
sent that. M literally had to leave after I sent that picture in. She was
You
like,
might
I need a minute.
No, I was
What
here.
do you
You
think,
guys had an absent seizure. I was still here.
I'm just messing with you, M. But
Um,
also sorry to hear that.
I was gonna ask Anne, have you heard of the Rick Simpson oil?
Yeah.
Here goes
Um,
Annie.
I actually
Yeah,
know Rick. Yeah, hi. Yeah, I do. I know Rick.
Oh.
So yeah, RSO is basically what one of the things that changed medical marijuana for us. And back in the 60s and 70s, we called it hash oil, iso hash, stuff like that. And Rick makes his with what they call in Canada, they call it naphtha, which is like 100% isopropyl alcohol. It's not like naphtha that is a paint thinner, but it is. It's 100% iso. FECO, which is what I use, is made with a natural grain alcohol, ethyl alcohol. And wait, ethyl methyl. Yes. I think ethyl alcohol is the natural, the methyl is the whichever one
Methyl
ever.
is the wood alcohol, I think.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Mark. I knew you would know that. But yeah. So the last batch of FECO I got was made with moonshine. And that makes a difference. But you get the same effect. The solvent is always evaporated completely out of that extract. So some people are like, oh, well, you can taste it, this, that, but that's not even the issue. For me, the issue is that it worked. I had to go off of OxyContin after 10 years, and I didn't know how to do that. And I didn't want to use Suboxone or any of that stuff. I wanted to just go off of it. And the only way to do it was to replace it with something else. And that's what RSO was for me. But yeah, Rick Simpson oil. He's a great guy.
So are you potentially saying so you know Rick Simpson?
Yeah.
You could potentially hook us up?
He
I'm just
never,
messing with you. Just
yeah,
messing with you.
I know, but I do know people that I could set you up with. So, but yeah, send me, sorry, I'm in my room. I had to decide it was too hot to mow. 86 degrees here at 8 o'clock at night. Come on, man. This is New York. But
I'm in Rhode Island. It's the same for me. Yeah,
I can't
right there with you.
believe this. Yeah, I'm really shocked. But yeah, no, I do have people that can help you out if you need it. Just DM me, or yeah, just get your information to me and give me a phone number. You don't even have to put it on Reddit what you want, and I'll text you and we'll do that. But
All right.
Definitely easy to get. And I know the people I get mine from just went back to their home in the Great Lakes to get ready to, for the next phase of growth just before flower. And then they'll be processing that the end of the summer. So I know there's a new batch coming, just saying.
All right. So where'd Mike go? Wait, is he
Talk
gone?
about a kick-ass insider perspective.
I was
Right.
just
You
about
get
to be
the
like,
best info first
I was
thing.
like, where's our dude who's literally high on Rick Simpson oil right now? He needs and he's missing all of this. Come on.
He's right there. He's right there.
Oh,
Oh my-
sorry. There's too many people.
Yeah, and the
Oh,
reason
no,
I
shit.
asked you that is because we were just talking about it with him, and I was like, Ann definitely knows something about this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All the weeds and the hallucinogens. I can ask Ann.
Well, I'm more with the weed. I don't know enough about the hallucinogens, so I have to ask my friends.
Well, I should say psychedelics.
The psychedelics, yes, the psychedelics. That's the only psych I want people calling me. Okay.
Yeah, that's different. I'm sorry. I said, yeah. But yeah, shit, he was talking about he just took a spoonful of RSO. I felt like I wasn't high enough, so I had to light a joint.
Oh, I don't know where he got his stuff, but my dose is about the size of a grain of rice.
Oh, really?
And it'll knock you out. I don't care how much you smoke. I don't care if you think, the lightweight versus, heavyweight stoner. I've knocked out a couple of big guys with this stuff. And you take a spoonful of it. I watched somebody do a whole gram of that, and I've never seen anything funnier, to be quite honest. His teeth were green for like 2 hours because the stuff looks black, but it's really green. It's green, dude.
Yeah, you hold
but-
it up to the light and it's kind
Yeah.
of like, yeah.
Oh yeah, or if you just spread it out on a piece of paper. But he took the whole 1 gram syringe and just shot it right in his mouth. And I'm like, dude, I have never, ever wanted to do that or needed to do that with my stuff. And I know that if I did, I'll take 2 doses, which is like 2 long grain rice size. I put it on the end of a toothpick, mix it up in some peanut butter on my fingertip, and that's how I take my medicine. But yeah, no, a whole spoonful.
He's still here.
I don't
Kind
know,
of.
man. Are you live, man?
No,
I'm
now I wish that
dying.
asshole would come back. I just watched that YouTube post about the dummy who was asking when just a couple of us were in the chat, the question of, "Are you for real?" I think that's all he said. He just took over the whole conversation, just saying, "So are you guys actually for real?"
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
have
wish
Oh, wait, is
that
that-
fool would come back now.
I have to go now.
You mean
Are
the
you-
guy who asked if we were telling the truth?
Yeah.
Yes,
That
and you
guy.
had you had the most gorgeous reaction because you looked like you wanted to reach through that screen and strangle them.
I was like, why
I
would
think-
any of us make this up? Like, it's the most
Exactly.
horrifying thing to ever happen to all of us. Trust me, nobody's
people-
making it up for fun.
And people
I
fucking
think
joke about
Olivia
that
is
shit.
heading out, guys. I think
Okay.
Olivia, are
That
you
was
heading
the
out?
only time
I'm
I thought it was
seen
Rachel.
Rachel.
Yeah,
go
Rachel.
back.
Rachel.
Okay.
Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
Hi guys.
Yeah,
I
you
wanted-
said you only have friends online. We're family too. You
That's
got us.
right,
Yeah.
sweetheart.
Don't
Yeah.
forget that.
Epilepsy
Don't forget
family.
that, Rachel.
Family.
We're Tuesdays and
Have a good one.
Fridays.
That's right.
I wanted to say, Pookie, I have that same shirt, but
My
mine
bad.
is blue and yellow.
Oh,
They're not the same.
We'll all get
It's still the
matching shirts
super.
one of
It's
these
still the
days.
Superman
Oh,
logo.
Superman.
Trying
And
to
I always
save
wear it
people.
whenever I go to the hospital.
There you
Is
go.
Rachel leaving?
I just moved
Are
my
you
head.
Rachel?
Like,
Oh. Hi Rachel.
I'll still be on to chat and everything, but I gotta leave the Zoom call.
All right.
Later.
All right, you have a good one.
For us some
I haven't
more.
been able. I'm taking summer classes, and I haven't been able to
Focus.
to go on one of these for so long. But I'm so glad that I was able to today.
Yes, that's impressive.
I finished them super early, so I got to
That's amazing that you even have the
Power
devotion to
to
do
you. I
summer
love your
classes.
hat, by the way.
Thank you.
We
I
go to a
wear it
doctor's
every
office.
day.
It's perfect.
That's perfect. That's definitely your signature.
Yes.
Every
It's
video I
perfect.
have, you have that hat on.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
only
kind of
take
have
it
to
off
wear
when
it on
I'm
every
sleeping, and that's the
one
only
now.
time.
I love it. I love it.
The hyena.
Gorgeous.
All right, bye. Love you guys.
Bye.
Love ya.
Later.
Bye, Rachel.
Yeah,
Um,
that's impressive. We were at a doctor's visit today. They told my daughter how tall she was in inches, and I took that opportunity to be like, oh, okay, so can you tell me how many feet that is? Just a quick, real world situation for division. And she looked at me and said, "Mom, it's summer." Like, like it's wrong to do division in the summer or something. Yeah, that NP had to laugh along, but I know
I
she was
Yeah.
agree with
just as embarrassed as I was.
I agree with your daughter.
All right, is our
Yeah,
mystery friend
We gotta
still here?
practice. You gotta do the small practice throughout the summer so it doesn't go away,
right.
We all
yeah,
we all
that's what
know
I'm
how easy
trying
it
to go
is
for.
we all know how easy it is for our cognitive abilities to go away. You gotta keep them sharp. You
At
gotta
this
keep them
point,
sharp.
I'm gonna have to find another way to do it. We get creative, telling her, these manga bundles that she wants. If it's $80 for 5 books, how many of that is for each book? And add, I find different ways to do it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Kate. I was going to go back to the question that I asked earlier, because we actually only got the story from Rachel. It
I'll still
was
take the money.
people who got surgery. How often were you seizing before? And Kevin, you also had a surgery.
Let me get some
True.
different perspective.
Well, Kevin, you said you were like pretty much seizure free
I am now.
after the surgery. Yeah.
How many seizures was I having prior to that? I would say about 4 grand mal a week, and the
Oh,
myoclonics were really bad. Those were the worst. The myoclonics were worse because I couldn't stand up. For about the first 5 hours of the day, couldn't stand up, couldn't walk. It took like my brain to get online, and I would get up and just fall down, and so I just had to lay in bed for all day. And I was about 30 years old, and my seizures were nowhere near under control. So they suggested these surgery as an alternative to the medicines, which were not controlling this at all. And so I considered it, did it, and took about a year and a half took about a year and a half, and the myoclonics just stopped one day. That's weird, I know, because I was still having myoclonics about 2 a week. And then one day in November, they were just gone. I mean, the myoclonics,
So what was yours? Did you have the resection?
I
Or the
had the
VNS?
VNS,
VNS,
yes,
okay.
but they went away too over time. I still have the magnet, here, and so yeah, that's a pretty good success story.
7
Hey,
Yeah,
stories.
Kevin,
absolutely.
how
7
Sorry to
long
years.
follow
was
that up with a
the
failure, but my
Success
surgery.
story.
how long
Yeah,
was
I'll
the
just stay out of
surgery
this
to get
one.
that? Oh, sorry, guys. I'm in my interrupting stage of the evening.
No, please. Let's leave the success as it is. Nobody else talk to the one that still has seizures just as much with the device.
Um, what am I fucking saying? Who knows? Kevin, how long was the surgery and how much did you have to prove to doctors that you have it? Because I just like put my cigarette in my hand and put it out like a couple minutes ago. The myoclonics are driving me nuts. I poured water all over my nanny cam, RIP.
My myoclonics were terrible. I could not walk, or they got to the point where I could not do anything. Like they like they weren't even going into full Grand Mall like half the week. I mean, like I said, I was having about 4 Grand Malls a week, but I guess that's pretty terrible too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine so. I guess they took that into consideration, but I couldn't hold things. I couldn't make food for myself. I couldn't walk down the stairs without falling down them. I couldn't. Yeah, it was and the worst part about that was I would like I would fall and know I was falling. I'm like, oh shit, here we go, and I would start sliding down the steps, and it would after about 5 steps, I would regain control of my right side and then be able to grab onto a banister and or like going to the bathroom. The same thing. It's just everything was just my. I had no quality of life. It was just so.
Kevin, can,
It
can I
goes.
ask you how long you were living like that?
It got progressively worse coming up to age 30. I think it's when I had surgery around age 30.
So this started like you were a kid and it just like got worse and worse into your 30s.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad in my teens. Got started getting bad in college, then worse over my 20s, and then worse and worse and worse and worse. Yeah.
I have a. Was Brandon gonna say something?
I had a little bit of not really a question, but just sort of like a blanket statement, just for the group as a whole, like the people who are running it.
I need advice. Years ago, before I was in the medical field, I witnessed someone who I now know is very manipulative and had a seizure randomly in front of me. It was weird, but I had never really seen many at all, so I had no real reference. The person involved was able to stop working because he wasn't allowed to work without driving. There were two seizures. The first one I witnessed, and the second one supposedly happened in his sleep. And he went in because his back hurt. And he said he woke up and he somehow had bitten his tongue, so went to the ER because it was so close to the first seizure, timing wise. Said that's what probably happened, his tongue. He made it possible. He made it, no, This made it impossible for him to work, and he was allowed to stay home because he couldn't drive for a while. Anyway, here is what I observed during the first seizure. Standing by the living room end table, he had a controlled fall, like to his knees and hand on a table, and then fell over. Then, shaking for a minute or so, a little foamy spit drooled out of his mouth, and then it stopped. And I thought it was something like a stroke that happened because it was an odd fall. So I had him look at me and smile, and he looked at me weird and gave me a one-sided smile, but then couldn't tell me what was going on, and he got up and was like acting wasted. Falling over from not listening to stay seated, running into walls and flopping on the bed, just this weird, like drunk stupor where he was falling all over the place to the point where I called an ambulance because there's no way I could get him to listen to get in the car. When they got there, he was normal, full ER, ECG, MRI, labs, all normal, no cause ever identified. After the supposed second one, they put him on Lamictal. He took it for 1 month. It's been 12 years since and no seizures. He was 34 at the time, had no previous head trauma. Opinions? Now that I've been in a hospital setting for 12 years and seen many seizures, I know I've just never seen a post-ictal period like that. So this guy is really suspicious that a former coworker actually had seizures in front of him. I don't know.
I mean, part of me wants to just be like, dude, who cares? Like, yes, it
Why
puts a bad
question that?
taste in your mouth, but it's like this whole story sounds odd. And if the guy was having a seizure, he was having a seizure. If he wasn't, he was an asshole. End of story.
Amen.
Look, whatever his medical records say, it's really hard to get disability for epilepsy. So
it's impossible. Yeah.
I have it because I really can't. Like, I kept going back to work against my doctor's orders, and I just kept on freaking, I could have fallen in a walk-in freezer with a concrete floor by myself with nobody else in the store hundreds of times just because I loved my job, you know?
I'm
But
in.
yeah, no. So
Sorry.
I don't. He had something go on if he's on actual disability, or he is just staying home and somebody else is taking care of him. I don't know, but
I'm actually in the process of getting like, sorry if you hear the background noise, my mom's on TikTok. I'm in the process of getting disability in the form because I can't drive. And I shouldn't drive anyways because my road rage would be out of control. But we don't need to get into that. I don't need to drive regardless of epilepsy or not. So I'm getting, it's probably a good thing that I'm getting help from the state for like how to get from point A to point B because I have horrible balance. Like I have no form of balance. It's just not there in my head. I've never had it. I can't ride a bike.
I'm just
every
I
time
teach
imagining
kids
you
how
as
to ride bikes.
Bambi.
My job is teaching kids how to ride bikes. I can teach you how to ride a bike in 2 hours.
Dude, I've tried it and everything bad happens.
Stop.
No,
Nope.
my
I can
brakes,
teach you.
my
We're gonna
brakes
end it
went
there.
out. No,
We're gonna
my
end it
brakes,
there.
listen, my brakes went out when my mom and I were going down a hill and it was the kind that you step back on the
Okay.
pedals and they wouldn't stop. So my mom had to hop off her bike and stop
Those
my bike
bikes-
so I wouldn't get hit by the truck. How
Those
do you
bikes
prevent
suck, and that was
by
traumatic,
teaching a
but-
kid?
No, those bikes suck. That was traumatic. I could teach you how to ride a bike in 2 hours.
And
Anyway,
then I almost got hit by a
back on
minivan
topic.
going 5 miles
Back
an
on
hour.
topic.
I don't know.
I know what you're
I
talking
know
about.
how to
Back
ride
on
a
topic.
bike and I broke 3 ribs, so I don't super recommend it even if you do
I
know how to
don't know.
ride a bike.
I don't think every time I ride
I
a
work
bike, I
with
almost get hit by a car.
1,500 kids a year.
I
I've
almost
been doing
get
it
hit
for
by a
5
car.
years.
I think it's the universe, Brendan.
Stay
I don't
away
think
from
it's
the
you. I think it's
cars.
the
You learn on-
universe.
Go
You
to
learn
What
in
am
a
I
a
supposed
parking
to ride
lot.
on the grass? I'm gonna
Okay,
get
just
hit by
let Brandon
cattle.
teach you and let's move on.
Anyways, I'm gonna get hit out. No, I'm sorry. Wait, where are we? Oh, okay. I'm getting help from the state eventually, hopefully. We're working on that. And I will be because I can't work right now. And so I think part of it is being deemed as a disability for like mental and like epilepsy because of the ECT as well. So I'm going into like a physical support epilepsy group, which I'm really lucky to have in my area. And I have someone assigned to my case. And thankfully, I have a more well-off family member that has the accessibility to do that stuff in her free time. So I have help there. And so I'm really hoping that helps get me from, point A to point B for places and also like income in the meantime because I've been putting off disability for so long because I don't want to be disabled. And I want to work. I love to work. It was my hobby. It still is. It's something I dream of doing again. I can't wait to get back on the conveyor belt one day and work at a warehouse. I just like, there's just something about it that I love, but I can't do that if I'm having seizures at work every time I go to work. So I have to start off slow with like a part-time eventually in the next few months once I'm done moving and stuff. But in the meantime, I have to file for disability and do all that fun stuff. But they do say most of the time you get denied the first time around and then you have to go around with the second thing.
Hey,
But
Olivia, you might want to shoot Angel a message if he's down for that. He went through, I think he went, oh my God, those dogs are so cute.
Me and
he-
Angel, we're on our third appeal.
What?
I'm on my third appeal.
I'm waiting for the appeal court to make a decision.
Yeah.
I already saw a judge.
I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm kind of like in the background of it all, my mom is doing a lot of the work when it comes to that part because, again, cognitively with that stuff, it's really hard for me to follow up on that and to like to do that by yourself is really difficult. So if you're doing that by yourself, Angel, like
I
bless
had
your
a
soul.
lawyer,
Yeah, but
but
it's even hard not to have like a family member to like talk to that lawyer for you and stuff like that because it's really hard to do it just alone in general.
yeah,
think in
I
the
had a
meantime-
lawyer, but they closed down the practice like right before the judge hearing. And
Oh
I'm like,
shit.
"Bitch, fuck you."
Well, what helped in my case, I know, was that I didn't want to accept the diagnosis, and I did keep working, and I did get the ambulance called on me a lot. And
Mhm.
by the time we got in front of the judge, I think I was inpatient. So that might help.
Kate, are you on? How many people are on disability?
Sort of. I'm on Medicare, so or Medicaid, one or the other.
So we got
But I'm
kind of
not on
Kevin.
disability.
I have not
I'm in the process.
gotten Medicare yet.
Yeah, you have to be on it for a full 2 years before you can get the Medicare. And then sometimes there's Advantage plans that do have better benefits, and that's a
It
little bit
also
confusing
depends
too.
where you live as well.
Definitely.
It's very I'm in Illinois, so if we weren't allowed to have private insurance and have and I wasn't able to stay on my mom's, we wouldn't have done because then I would have lost my doctors and stuff, and that's not worth all of that. Luckily I have people to depend on. But it's definitely not an easy, like when it comes to disability and all that, like it's a really shitty process. Also, this is my first time trying the watermelon Izzy, so I don't know if you guys like Izzy's, but
My kids are
Lufa,
crazy
you are
about
like delightful. You are
She's
so
lovely.
delightful.
Watermelon Izzy's? What?
I don't
Sia
recommend it.
No
Sia
good.
is saying in the chat to get an attorney, and she just said that you can search up SSA attorneys. Just check the chat. It's in the replies.
That was disgusting. That was like so
Watermelon's great.
That's no, but like that was like bitter and like nasty. That's the second drink I've had today that's been disgusting. The second new drink. I just need to stop trying new drinks.
Stick
Wait,
with water.
what was the first one
Just
though?
stick with water.
Oh, the
Does
first
anybody
one
remember the
was
question?
it was called Unwell by Alex Cooper. I don't know who that is, but
Okay,
it's
well,
like
they've already
that
said
it was
sounds like a
disgusting.
horrible name for a drink.
I thought
Unwell?
so
Terrible.
too, but they were
They-
out of my body armor, and I like body. I swear by body armor. Like I swear by it. It helps with
You need those
hydration
electrolytes.
so much. It is so good. It's got coconut water in it. If you are ever looking for a drink that's not water and you want a little, pep in your step, I cannot highlight it on it more. Body armor, and specifically the orange mango one, is my favorite.
You know what?
And
Yeah, that's one
Shout
of my
out to
kids'
Body
favorites.
Armor.
Yep.
Shout out
And-
to Body Armor. I wish they
Yep.
came in bigger packaging, and they're highly underrated, and they're so good. They make a huge difference for your body.
Anybody
the
like the
kids that
cherry
I work-
lime?
Oh,
I
sorry.
do. I don't like diet though. I won't do diet any.
no.
No fake
All
sugar.
all that like aspartame and stuff is really bad for seizures.
That's
It
what
can
the
start you on
Unwell-
a cluster. It can
Yep.
lower your threshold. It's just
And you
bad.
could taste it. Have you
Oh,
ever
God.
tasted something with stevia in it, and it just leaves its whole life in your mouth?
Long
It's
before
disgusting.
I even was supposedly epileptic, which is bullcrap, but anyway, long before I had like uncontrolled epilepsy that could be,
Bullshit.
diagnosed, I could always taste that. I could never drink a diet drink. I could taste, and it just felt wrong and bad. And I could never drink a whole diet drink ever.
Yep, I've always grown up on like diet has cancer stuff in it. It's not good for you. It's bad for you. Just have the real sugar. which I'm all for. If it's real, that's even better. Give me the real
Yeah,
stuff.
The
Please
the
give me the real
cancer
stuff.
Mexican
stuff,
Coke,
the
guys. Do
cancer
a
stuff
Mexican
was
Coke.
yes,
worse
thank you,
than
yes, the
just
Diet Coke
eating
thing
the.
was so prominent. All of us know, like everyone was like, "Diet, don't drink Diet Coke.
Well,
It's
and
gonna fuck
I'm
you up."
sorry, does it actually taste good to these people? Do they actually sit there and they're like,
I've
wow,
never had
that
one.
I
I've never
haven't.
had
You
one.
can they've messed up my order at McDonald's and I'm like, this is Diet Coke. This is disgusting. And it leaves that film in your mouth. That's like fake sugar film.
I like Jarritos.
The,
I like
they
Diet
may
Coke,
just
guys.
get
Kill me. I love
acclimated
it.
to it over time. They've just been drinking it for years and years and years that they think this is what Coke tastes like, and they don't know that they're wrong.
Well, yeah, that's
Okay,
why.
what's the question? Can we get back? I'm sorry,
Oh
guys.
yeah,
I'm gonna be
where
a
were
bitch. Can
we?
we get back to the question? I feel like we got questions to do here.
Was there a question?
I kind of wanted to talk about myoclonic. Because
Okay.
I've got spinal issues, they keep passing off these myoclonic jerks as associated with my shoulder, my neck,
So
my
are
lumbar.
your myoclonic jerks are more upper body, correct?
Yeah.
That's where they typically are. Sorry, I'm like a little nerd when it comes to the myoclonic seizure since
Yeah,
I've
that's why
now
I'm
been.
asking because we got you here. Yep. Yeah.
So first of all, it is oftentimes not noticed because you need a seizure specialist to properly read that EEG. And normal neurologists will not recognize it. They might try and play it off as psychogenic. They might play it off as you having Tourette's. They might play it off as all these other things because they don't know what it is. Usually it starts out as junior myoclonic epilepsy and shows from ages 12 to 18 is when it starts to really show up. For me, it started showing at like 12, 13, which made perfect sense. And it starts off like really small jerks, things that you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. Then it starts going to like, hey, this is like getting kind of like annoying. And then it's people are noticing, but you don't know what it is. So you're saying it's Tourette's, but it's not Tourette's. And you're like, I don't know what's happening. No one's listening to you. And it just progressively gets worse as you get older.
Yeah.
And the doctor, my seizure specialist, he was straight up with me and he didn't sugarcoat anything, which I love. It's my favorite thing. He said that there's not a lot known about myoclonic epilepsy and it'll either go away during childhood, during puberty, or it'll be with you for the rest of your life. So for me, a lot it presents in my upper body where I'm like I'll like jerk something out of my hand or I'll accidentally hit somebody or like my whole body just like jerks and it's like sometimes it's so small that you don't notice it but you kind of do and you're just kind of like okay, but sometimes it's so big that people have been like, are you okay, like what's going on? And then I end up being like bedbound for the day because I can't move, I can't get up, I can't feed myself because God forbid I hold something.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
if
Annie,
you
what was your specific question about myoclonic jerks, if you don't mind me interrupting?
And just basically exactly what Lufa just said, a definition and what it
yeah,
looks
like
like.
it
And they did develop, they got worse. But I
yeah,
was in,
it's
yeah.
if it's it seems like if you're older and you're not, because I'm 20, so it's I haven't experienced like severe back pain or anything of that sort because it's been targeted now at an early age. Whereas you are older, so maybe the myoclonic jerks, maybe you jerked in a certain way where now your back has been like messed up somehow, or
Yeah.
your
Well,
shoulder popped out of place, or that because that can really happen with the
oh,
jerks
I
because
know.
it's your body, it's your muscles spazzing out of place and you can't control it. So whether you can hurt your neck, you can hurt your spine. And the best thing to do is to find a medication to control it and to lower the threshold and to figure out the specific things that trigger you to have the jerks if you can, and write it down or keep note of it.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's choreography. But it might have just led to something that is different in your body now. That's like, maybe you have a back problem now from you having the myoclonic jerks, because I remember some of them were so bad it felt like I was like knocking my entire body out of place, or my entire arm
Yeah.
felt like it was just like flying
Well,
off my body.
I was in a few car accidents, one when I was really young, and that's what they suspected started my seizures. But the second car accident, I almost went through the windshield from the front passenger seat. So my whole body was imprinted in the windshield. So I ended up breaking my neck.
Yikes.
I blasted out the discs. Well, it was torn. It was a rare injury to a disc in the neck.
That's
and
awful.
it scarred over, and it took several years before I had surgery. So I've got a fusion in my neck. And then I
that's
fell
the problem.
again.
Things like overlap.
Yeah, and then I fell again a couple years ago and tore up my shoulder in some very strange ways. So putting those two together, we're like, okay, no more physical therapy. You have to have surgery, and you have to get these seizures under control. As if I can go home and do that for myself. You know, and trying to explain to this neurologist.
Get hit with a practicing medicine charge.
Yeah, right. And it's like, don't get me going. But, you know, I finally had to get in the face of this neurologist and say, okay, look, you want to call everything psychogenic. I've had 2 emergency surgeries, 2 strokes, a concussion. Oh, wait, then there was another stroke after that concussion. Who do I talk to here? The CEO? Or, you know, are we going to talk about everything being psychogenic? Or are you going to give me my original treatment back? Because for 5 years, I haven't had my full treatment that I have for my epilepsy. I only have one of the 4 medications. So, but in the process of those 5 years, I had some more injuries that got brushed off as psychogenic. You know, so the more I tell them about this myoclonic jerk, literally everything is psychogenic. And I think the only way to get through this is with a very powerful attorney. Because now I can't even I was supposed to go for whatever the doctor wanted me to go to an ENT. And I'm like, okay, I'll do this. I schedule, and they're like, well, we're going to have to talk to your psychiatrist first. I have never had that happen before making a doctor's appointment. So the very first thing I did was I called New York State Department of Health and asked who I should talk to about that. Because I'm not going to call back to make an appointment. And if they call me, I'll just say, it's illegal for me to talk to you right now. But, you know, I don't even know what to do at this point, you know, and I'm like, okay, I just got out of this psychogenic circus with these people for the last 5 years. And now I'm trying to get this myoclonic problem helped. And is it my neck? Yes, I need surgery. Is it my shoulder? Yes, you need surgery. Could it be the epilepsy? No. No, you need surgery. But why don't we do the surgery? Because I have epilepsy. Okay.
Hey, Annie. Can I just like interrupt, because I'm in my interrupty hours right now? Oh, sorry. That you are such a good example of how like telling women that what they know they're experiencing isn't real is such a fucking mental. Like you have to qualify everything you're saying, rightly so, because they keep saying it's psychogenic, and that is like that takes such a toll on people. And then you just have it in your mind that now, like, even though you know that it's not that, like, that you have to defend yourself constantly which is a natural reaction to being told that it's psychogenic. And I just think it's such bullshit. And listening to you just like raises my hackles at everything you say, because you have been through so fucking much and it's all real.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And it's like, that's why I'm trying to get out and just like you, letting people know we don't have to tolerate this. And it, you know, some of the guys look at us and they're like, you gotta be kidding me. No,
Well,
we're
even
not
with
kidding.
like the myoclonic, especially, like, it's extremely like put off as psychogenic. Like they literally gaslit me into thinking that I'm making myself jerk around this way. Like I'm throwing myself on the ground.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
you're
throwing
doing
my food. I'm doing this on purpose. And it didn't make any sense to me because I was like, I'm not though. Like I'm not throwing my food on purpose. I'm not making my mom feed me on purpose. So why are they telling me I'm doing this on purpose? So it took
Who
a
would
lot
do
of like
that? Who would do that?
I had just not
attention seekers, because we're attention seekers.
and then what else oh, I was suffering from some sort of psychopathy, this,
Yeah,
that.
or it's just your period, you're just or you're
Oh
going
yeah.
through your it's just your hormones, it's just this, it's just that, it's everything, it's just this if you're a woman, it's just that if you're a woman.
Right.
I know I
had
keep talking about my college years, but I had a professor in college who said I like my myoclonics were really bad then, and I kept kicking the chair, the person in front of me accidentally. Like my leg would violently kick uncontrollably, and I didn't mean to. And the chairs were so close together, and my professor called me out for it, said, "Stop acting like a child" or whatever. And I tried to explain to him that I this was a seizure, and I did not react well to him. I didn't explain well to him, but you know,
Well, and
we met.
it's
You know,
it's hard to explain a seizure that people already don't know about in the seizure community to someone who
right,
already thinks that epilepsy is just someone foaming at the mouth on the ground.
right.
When it's so much more things than that, and then you're labeled as crazy or like you're attention or you're emotional or this or that, and that goes for any gender, any race, any person.
Especially in
Like
your
they
college
just
age years.
Oh
like
yeah.
as a 21-year-old.
Stop saying that right now. That is an
Sorry.
aggression towards me.
As a 45-year-old figuring out my life, it's going through, I know I keep bringing up ECT, but it does play a role within the epilepsy. Is like I forgot a lot about like my personality. So people just throw it off as, oh, you're just in your 45-year life crisis trying to figure yourself out. And I'm like, no, I'm like legitimately like have to figure out who I am and what's going on while dealing with this diagnosis of epilepsy now, and figuring out how to medicate that and stay, and be a person, figure out how to be human. That's basically what I'm doing, is figuring out how to be human, not figuring out who I am. I'm figuring out how to be human. And my 45-year-olds.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I put
I got some wrinkles
the title
going on here.
You look great for 75.
Thank you.
I
put a link.
I put the title of a book in the chat, and when we do a epilepsy or whatever, you said one I can't say that.
Femileptic.
Yes, perfect. Good luck to everybody trying to say that.
I'm a femileptic.
That's perfect. There's a book, and it's specific to medical gaslighting for women, and it tells you, like, for Kate, like how to go into an appointment so that you don't have like a huge like fucking binder of all your shit, because that's what you want to do. So yeah, check out this book. I guess I'll just say it here. It's called Medical Gaslighting. How to Get the Care You Deserve in a System That Makes You Fight for Your Life. And it is by Yana, Jacqueline. That's all.
Yeah, I'm definitely
Highly
gonna read
recommended.
the sample, because if I end up doing this in
Yeah,
another
I'm gonna send that link
6
to my
months or so,
mom.
I don't even know how much is gonna change in the healthcare system, but this might still be relevant for sure. Even if it just tells me how to, I like in the description how it says you need to present yourself as a patient. So they can't get away with saying you're just some, drug seeker, attention seeker, whatever.
Oops.
Yeah,
Yep.
I heard an interview with
Dropping
her and she
stuff.
was like
Sorry, guys.
pretty, like she was in Annie. She was like, fuck you, I'm gonna get help.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Well,
gotta love it.
it's like, and that's what it's sad, but let's face it, guys. Well, ladies, even female doctors put us through that shit. And I mean, yeah, I don't want to get into all of it, but my thing, what really blew my mind, I have a weekly session with my therapist, okay? And last week she said, you know what? She's she's been working with a lot of people that have invisible diseases like fibromyalgia, IBS, epilepsy. I'm her only epilepsy patient. But she said that with the advocacy and just the shit that I've gone through and what her other patients have gone through, she wants to be able to support us. And she told me about this book and she said, you know, we're going to do it together in a group therapy session. And well, yeah, it's like a 6 week, but she said it was really interesting when the doctor um described medical gaslighting. That's a new modern term for what we used to call medical abandonment. And when you say abandonment, that puts it in a very different light. But yes, it's how we present ourselves, how we go in there with confidence. You don't want to go in there screaming and yelling because that's what I was doing. Um, I don't know. Are you here, Nicole? But yeah, you can't do that. It doesn't work. And it does, doctors do have a right to refuse treatment if a patient is hostile. Okay, so let's just leave that on the table. Yeah, they might understand we could be having a seizure, whatever. But yeah, the medical, be ready for those appointments, man. But totally forgot what else I was saying. But yeah, that's going to be a good book. I would love to be doing it. Oh yes, my therapist wants to join us sometime, and I think that would be some fun.
We will not
She
be
is
too aggressive.
no, you can't scare her. She's
No,
a
we would
redheaded
not do
Southern
that to
girl.
you.
Yeah, and she is former Navy, and that's all I can say about her military entanglement, so we call it. And she is a trauma therapist that works with active military. So put that together, and that's what she is. So
That's
she's cutting.
awesome.
Yeah, I would love to have her come and join us. And she's very interested in raising awareness of invisible diseases, and how we get treated. But most importantly, it comes down to the medical gaslighting, abandonment, dumping, whatever you want to call it. You know, I've had plenty of things I've called it, but yeah.
Yeah, so let's just plan ahead for when she makes the trip. We'll have topics ready for discrimination and
Yeah,
those kinds of things that somebody from that side might actually be interested in knowing, might help her patients.
right. And that's why we want to dig into that book together. So it's
Okay.
like,
Yeah,
oh, that
so
might be good. Yeah.
I'm
So what
I'm
she,
reading Brain on Fire really quickly, so I think I'll probably get to the gaslighting one next week.
oh, lucky you. Oh, God. I miss that. I would be able to do it in a couple hours. I miss that. I really do.
Well, then again, I was out of it for
Yeah,
a while
or
today. I had to, so maybe I shouldn't make promises.
does anyone do audiobooks? Because I can't read.
I listen to either Let's Read podcasts, to fall asleep to, like true crime
I
and
do
stuff
that one
to fall
too.
asleep to. I love him. At least I also just found Booze and Booze. And that one's also really good because some of them sound so stupid. I'm like, what? But okay. I also like Nexpo, but when it comes to like books and stuff, I've been looking into listening to some because I'm really into like history and I'm really into the human brain, like
That's why
mental
I've
health.
chosen not to listen to books because I feel like if I read it, it sticks. And if I listen
I
to it, I'll never remember the last
I'm
chapter.
the opposite way because when I listen to something, I'm very imaginative, so I imagine what is being read to me. So like when I listen to the Let's Read, I can imagine everything that's happening and it's so fun for me. So I think it would make listening to an audiobook a lot more fun for me because I'm more of a visual learner and I really want to get into digital animation to kind of show and yes, an expo. And
That's something that would probably be accomplished better by you reading it. Because when you visualize something, it's just about the words that are on the paper. I mean, the right synonyms could
but
definitely
I
paint
don't
a
know.
picture.
I feel
Sorry,
like
I'm with Kate here. I'm fully with Kate on this one.
I don't know. For me, when I listen to things, it's much easier when I'm reading it again for double tasking, and that would be like choreography for me. So
I
doing two
have
things, doing
I
two
have
things at once is
noticed.
like the reading and the and having to like because I have it's just a different kind of work in my
That's fair.
mind
Can
that
I
causes me to then have like those little spasms of um myoclonic jerks. I have myoclonic jerks from trying to read.
I get those too. Uh, but I just working with kids, I've noticed that I mean it's a post-COVID thing, but having everything sort of on a laptop or being read to them sort of thing, it cuts down on uh
Retention.
yeah, the retention. It so all I guess me and Kate are saying are just it is like if you did like read it, it might like hold better. I don't know. That's all we're saying.
Um, I just disagree because I know myself better,
And you
and
know
Yes.
yourself.
Yeah,
That's totally
everybody
my
fair.
learns
You know
definitely learns
yourself.
their
my
own way.
yeah, my
Yeah.
brain. I know how my brain learns. I know how
Yeah,
my brain works, and I'm
that's totally
confident
fair.
in the way that it works. When I read, I'm rereading the page a million different times and it never sticks in my brain. But if I have it read aloud to me, or if I'm watching a show and I have subtitles, I read the subtitles during it. If I'm watching something, I like to read the subtitles.
I can't stop
Um,
myself from reading the subtitles.
Oh, I
That
do the
always
same.
messes
yeah,
with the
Yeah,
show and the movie.
I
Yeah.
I
love
do the same. That's
subtitles.
that's what I mean. Is like
Yes.
it's the
I
reading because I also do the subtitles, so that's what I mean. Like the
Yeah, the
reading,
subtitles is fine, but when it comes to books and stuff like that,
totally fair.
I can't get into it. It doesn't stick in my mind. It just ends up frustrating me. It feels like this is a waste of time. This is something that other people do that I'm trying to force myself to do that I know that
Yeah,
I'm just not capable of, and I get a
I
lot
would
more
love
out
to
of
hear
it.
you become an artist after you listen to one of these things that create such visual pictures, like, you literally
Well,
paint it or draw it or something.
I would do really good at uh digital art, like animation and stuff. Like I've been thinking about uh stories from the psych ward via
did
digital animation, and it doesn't take a lot to like. You don't have to have super sophisticated drawing skills or whatever. It's very easy to learn. It's very easy to express yourself, and when you're doing stuff like that, you're not reading really. You're visualizing still. So when I listen to things, it's so much easier for me to visualize and get so much more out of it and understand it. Now, when it comes to like Reddit and whatnot, I do read a lot of things on Reddit because I find real life stories and real life opinions interesting in real time. And
Good idea.
comments back and forth. I don't do like the whole Instagram. I don't really take that seriously or TikTok seriously, but when it comes to like the specific subreddits for things, I do read those and I type up very informative paragraphs if I need to, or comments or anything. And when it comes to my speaking and knowledge, I am very good with being knowledge. Like I gave a speech at my grandma's funeral,
Yeah,
and
you
it
mentioned that.
it was like I'm very good with words, and the way that I was able to figure that speech out wasn't by reading something over and over again, which is how my mom and her sister figured it out in their brain, and my cousins did. But for me, it was putting a couple bullet point notes and then saying a couple things out loud to myself, or thinking in my head and sitting there and imagining the different ways I could say different things. And then when I get up there, I just kind of wing it, and it works for me. And I learned that way, and I learned from in person, from experience, and from
Yeah.
Yeah, hands-on
imagining
learner
what's
makes
going
sense.
on. Yeah.
Hands-on learner for sure.
So like reading
Yeah.
just has never been my thing.
Yeah.
I'm not
You're
against
good.
reading,
You're good.
but
You're good. Don't worry about
listening
it.
is a
It's
lot
okay.
better for me.
Yep. Works for different things, work for different people. You're good.
Yeah. And I don't think it's because of my age. I think it's literally just because of how I absorb information, which I think is fine. Everyone learns differently, and I think that's
It's
okay for people
absolutely.
to
Yep.
adapt to.
Different people like take information in different ways. Totally fine. You're good.
What's up, Pookie?
So back to what she said about the audiobooks being easier, and I do like I can imagine stuff and I might remember that more, like an episode of a show or something. But reading it, I kind of forget the beginning and stuff. For instance, I was taking a test and the test was like 20 questions, I think, and I answered like 4 in 40 minutes because I had to keep reading the passage over and then go back to the question and then think about that question as I'm reading it over and over. And I didn't tell them that my memory was that bad, so I didn't get a pass on how bad my memory was. And you got 4 out of 20. I hope they were all right.
So
Have
I used to be
you
able to
been
kill like an 800-page book in half a week, but I can't hardly read a book at all now. But I do love the closed captions on whatever the heck I'm watching. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now because I didn't raise my hand.
I feel like we're free talking. I've always been a visual learner, just for me, which I
have
think
you
is fine.
been assessed for any degree of dyslexia by any chance? Because
No.
it seems like
Ooh.
well, I don't know, anyone who finds
Retention from
learning
reading difficult.
with audiobook type of, you know, auditory or, you know, visual, like documentary type delivery as opposed to learning through a textbook type of, or, you know, articles or any sort of more traditional like
If I'm,
instruction.
I feel like if
There's
I'm gonna read, I'm gonna read out loud. Like I need to hear it audibly,
Oh
even
yeah,
if
that
I'm
definitely
reading
helps
it.
it stick better.
So it's not necessarily like just reading, like dyslexia or anything. I just need to hear it audibly.
Just
You
hear
know
it.
what I mean?
Yeah,
I
just
hear it
hear
in
it.
my ears in order to
All right, go ahead, Pookie.
understand it.
Or another example would be
could be a coping mechanism to help with the processes. You know, you're seeing it and following it along, and Um, I don't know. I just, it was just a thought that occurred to me that, it's something that occurs to
No,
varying
yeah, it
degrees
probably
in a
definitely
lot of
is.
different people.
It's probably easier
It's
for me to understand it that way.
yeah,
And for some
a
people,
lot
it's
of my
easier to understand in
family.
silence. Everyone's different.
Yeah, I'm one of the quiet readers. A lot of my family are dyslexic, and they just, it's a lot of work for them to try to get it. But another thing, my sister um has issues not with, a neurological thing. She has problems with her eyes crossing. Like visually, it's hard for her to keep going and reading along line by line because, at some point after doing it a couple of times in a row, her eyes start to, not point at the same thing, and it gets really hard to focus on it in a way that um she doesn't get when she's listening to an audiobook. So um I don't know, just these were
Whatever
just
works for you.
yeah, just
No, and there should be no shame if you do better by reading, or if you do better by audibly hearing anything. Everyone's different. Everyone's brain is different. I think that's a huge highlight, especially in the epilepsy community.
yeah, yeah.
There's also a condition that can come from seizures or from anti-epileptic medication. It can make your eyes go back and forth really fast, and it's completely uncontrollable. Have you guys seen this? My best friend from childhood has it, and not from that. She just developed it randomly in her 30s. And people have a hard time talking to her because you can't look her in the eye, really. Well, you can, but people find it very disconcerting. And a lot of epilepsy patients end up getting the same thing.
Oh shit!
So
Sorry.
it's probably something close to what your sister has, because she can't read books anymore. She and I both used to read books all the time in high school,
Mm.
but she can't anymore because her eyes, they do that thing, and she can't like focus because she gets to a certain point on the page where she just can't. It's going. So
There was a therapy that my sister was able to do, that, a technique that she learned. Yeah, I'll get in touch with her and see what I can find out about it, and see if by any chance if it what she experienced back then is similar to what we're talking about now, because that could be pretty cool.
I've never come across this fact before. It was a post from a while ago saying the craziest fact I discovered about how people with epilepsy are treated has to be in American restaurants could legally refuse to serve you if you had epilepsy until the 70s. And that's just in the US. So this person's saying, I don't know about other countries. And one of the replies is saying in the US, people with epilepsy were forbidden to marry in 17 states until 1956. The last state to repeal this law did so in 1980. In 56, 18 states provided for the sterilization on eugenic grounds of people with epilepsy. So, wow.
What the
This
fuck?
this yeah, that's really surprising because that shows that this country
Yeah.
definitely just assumed you should never reproduce, and that was up until not that long ago.
I mean, I personally don't know anyone in my family with epilepsy except for me. So, and I'm choosing not to reproduce, so I guess I'm doing America a favor. Go me,
I know.
America.
Or
Yeah,
you
I was
can look
just
at that as giving in and joining the. It's cool. It's cool. Somebody else start talking, saying the wrong thing.
Well, eugenics was a popular kind of thing. It was in vogue in the early 20th century. So, it's, yeah, I didn't know it took that long for the last trails of it to die out, but it's not surprising that it was still hanging around in some states here. That's not the only instances of eugenics too, though. So
Yeah, it's probably just
it
easier to
could
assume better off
this
not
could get a
reproducing
lot
in case it
darker if
could
we can
continue.
continue talking about this subject. So how about something other than
Well, actually,
or sterilizations?
before
Two sides
before
to every
we
story. You can look at it from both ways.
before we
Um,
move on from that, I guess,
uh,
does anybody else that's in the chat right now have a family member who has epilepsy?
I do.
Okay, so
Yeah,
anybody
my
else?
sister and I have the same type. It was like spooky, on point. My EEG just showed it right away.
Yeah, so Lufa, I'm in the same boat as you, where like I didn't know for the longest time, and then I finally did meet him and found out it was genetic, but
Do you know what kind you have, Brandon?
just temporal lobe epilepsy, just kind of standard, you know.
I don't really know like how to meet him. I found him on Facebook and I could just
Okay.
flash mob him like, hey, I have a question
I,
during
oh yeah, that's what I
they
did.
just show up one day and be like, I need an answer, Frank.
No, yeah, that was basically my approach, where I kind of just
Okay.
went, you know, like, uh, hey
Okay.
motherfucker, hey motherfucker, hey
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Hey, you never sent me any money
Yes.
for child support or anything. You were
No.
completely just
So yes.
gone.
So yes.
So I just need you to answer me.
I would
Anyone
say
in the family have epilepsy?
yes. I would say just approach it as more of, you know, a research, you know, mission. But that's
I do what I can.
actually, I am gonna head out. I hope everyone has a great rest of their night, though.
Bye,
too.
Brandon.
Hey,
But,
Brandon, before you go,
Brandon.
can you send that thing again?
I did.
I lost the chat.
Oh, no. I mean, I sent it like 2 minutes ago to you.
I'm
Jesus.
gonna die.
I
I'm
know you need
literally
that
gonna
picture.
die.
Here, I'm just gonna
You
send it
guys
to
crack me up.
the
You're like a
main.
bunch of adolescents.
She just wants that picture of Pedro Pascal again.
It's in my
Everyone
history.
wants
if I have to find it, I'll get it for you.
everyone.
So I sent it to you
Jeez.
Oh,
individually
come on.
twice,
There we
You can't
go.
miss it now. You can't
and
miss it,
now,
No, it's
yeah,
there. I
exactly.
see it. I see
There
it.
you
Thank
go.
you.
Exactly.
You're beautiful and I love you. Have a good night.
Yeah, my girlfriend hates that I sent that picture to her as well, because now I can't compare to anybody ever. All right, bye everyone.
Great
Bye.
note.
Oh,
Wow.
what a crazy crew we are.
Okay, and
Yeah.
now we're all just
Oh.
looking at that.
Yeah, that's
You
pretty on
are?
you.
You're still
You
looking at
can't.
that?
I'm
not.
back to the crazy facts. I'm seeing Missouri was the last one to revoke it, and yeah, I'm trying to look at anything else.
I'm still
Is that
on.
like AI or?
I don't give a shit. I'm sure it's not real.
I'm
Oh,
still on the
geez.
part where she was talking about the reading part, and yeah, I had a problem with that. And I read better when I read out loud, and like if I read to myself quietly, I might read the same line a few times, and yeah, but it's like
It's
with
always better when it's read to you, though.
yeah, those long times reading those, sometimes I lose track of the question, the everything. So
Yeah,
It
I
is
had
so
Problem
to.
is,
I
impressive
appreciate it.
listening to you read those like book long ones. I don't know how you do it.
I can never
What you
get
do,
started. Like
what you do
I
is you
have to get
stop
started,
remembering
and
it.
then I can get going. But
Like I'll read 50 pages at a time, and then I won't read a book for 2 months. I've been trying to read my sister got me a book for Christmas, and I've been trying to read it since. I haven't only gotten through about, you know, half the book. It's not that hard, but I gotta just stick to it. That's the problem.
I like picture books. I'm
I
so serious.
I
Like
so look forward to like any independent time that I have, and I know I still have to be quiet now to wake up the rest of the family, and I'm not allowed to go out by myself anymore, obviously, not even with the dogs. So I have to find, a nice quiet thing to do, and reading works because
Hey,
now they wake up during yoga. Like I've had too many seizures
Like,
during that.
yeah. So, Kate, you said now I'm not able to go out with the dogs now. It's like that for me for like 2 days, and then it's back to can you take the dog out? So yeah, I get that
Exactly.
sometimes. Like, yeah, you don't even need to go nowhere. You don't need to take the dog walking. You're gonna mess around and walk into traffic or something. And right after I'm better, well, they think I'm better, or a few days later, it's like, yeah, can you take the dog out now?
I would just feel so cruel not taking Coda out because she wants to go with me. I'm the only one that'll throw pine cones for her and let her do something on the walk besides just, doing her business.
Yeah.
So yeah, she can guilt trip me. Those puppy eyes, easy.
I had something and got lost.
I'm reading more of these responses.
Kate, have you ever tried to like hurry and take Coda out, saying, "Oh, she has to go out in a hurry just to like get out of the house"?
I'm not that desperate yet. Yeah, like 4 times a day is enough. It's never less than like 90 degrees by the time we go out.
Yeah, I have to find that escape time with my medicines. Like, oh, I gotta go pick it up. My Uber's here.
Yeah, I guess I am the first to the door when we get Instacart orders. But that's just to make sure nobody drops the eggs and I freak out at them. So somebody else is responding to more of these. Oh, you know what, that learning thing you guys were talking about made me think of the more what's it called? Senses. The more senses you utilize when you're learning something does help it stick, so that like reading and reading out loud, that's using more of your senses. When I read like that last post, it was kind of small print. Well, I don't have my glasses on, so that's why it looks small, but I had to put my finger right up to it and follow it line by line to get it right, especially when there's longer ones like that. So
Mm,
everybody
yeah.
has to learn differently, that's for sure.
Yeah.
My psychiatrist had me reading out loud into like my a voice record so that then I could listen to it while I was reading it, and it helped me regain some of that um the reading ability back. But now it's my memory. It's like, wait, what did I just read? And I had to go back, and I'm like, no. And when you're saying you could read like an 800-page book, in my head, the first thing that I see as a book is like my textbooks or Grey's Anatomy, the
Harry
real
Potter.
book. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, wait, 800 page? No, and then I'm like, oh, Vanderkolk. But I can't, it's like, I just realized I haven't read fiction for I don't know how long. And I think maybe it's time I read just a rom-com, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I could suggest some series for you on that one.
All right, we'll talk. Yeah, definitely.
Of course.
One
I
was
honestly have been searching for the perfect book to try to read because the
Mm,
last Stephen King one, I made it halfway through and I kept having to reread and reread and reread pages
Dude,
sometimes 4 times over and thinking, God, this is not,
That's what took me so long to get through Apothecary Diaries. Like that was the most complicated anime I've ever seen.
It's awesome though, isn't it? I love that
Yeah,
one.
it's awesome, but oh, I can't pronounce the characters' names to begin
Oh,
with.
no.
So yeah, it's I like anime, but it's hard to keep track of.
Hmm.
That's why I
Did
can
you?
never go back to watching those whatever those dramas are on Telemundo, the Spanish ones. I used to
Oh
watch
yeah.
those. Yeah, but that
I
shit gets
managed
complicated too.
to I managed to get through Slaughterhouse 5, Kurt Vonnegut.
Oh,
The
that's hard. That's hard slog.
it wasn't it's like a sci-fi anti-war. It's it was a surprisingly light read given the subject matter. He kind of intersperses a lot of the really dark material about the firebombing of Dresden with, you know, flying saucers and, being taken and abducted out to another planet and stuff. And I don't know. I managed to read it in 2 afternoons. Um, but I mean, they were just entire afternoons, so I had nothing else to do. But yeah, I don't know. Is about as difficult as well, no, actually I'd say it was less difficult than some of the Stephen King novels that I've read. Some of those can get pretty, you know, I don't know. Not like Dostoevsky or anything, but they can be a little difficult for me to kind of like Insomnia. That was a nightmare to get through. But anyway, an anti-war book seems kind of appropriate. So, um,
Down to whatever you want to talk about. If not, I have this here.
Please do.
It says, how do you tell a friend that they said something offending? It's been a while. So today I was chatting with a girl in my class. We get along pretty well, but we've only known each other for a year, so she doesn't know much about my condition. I have epilepsy since 3 years, and even with treatment, I still experience focal seizures now and then. In France, employers are encouraged to hire disabled workers. That includes ASD, ADHD, diabetes, physical injuries. People with all kinds of disabilities get what they call RQTH, recognition for handicapped workers. And during the conversation, she said, TL, normal. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys. She said, must be a good deal for HR since you can walk like a normal person and participate to a quota of disabled workers. If it will give you more job opportunities, I replied that I would have preferred to rid of them. I have ASD, ADHD, and epilepsy, probably interconnected. She kept on with well, I have a friend who is colorblind and it works for him as well. Companies with low sense of moral must be looking forward to this kind of profile. I didn't answer, but I'm pissed. I know she didn't mean to be rude and everything, but these small remarks annoyed me. Am I being over dramatic? How do I talk to her? Um, I'm sorry. Yeah, their spelling was all over the place, so I was trying to paraphrase what some of that I
So
thought
what
it
are they
was.
confused about? They want
could
to know
you,
how to talk
do,
to her to achieve
well,
what?
what was the thing could you repeat what it was that the friend said with like, I'm confused. Did they say like a low sense of moral, like unethical companies would want to hire people like her?
Or were they suggesting that epilepsy patients should work HR?
Wait, what was this? I wasn't really following.
Well, it
I was
sounded like
like,
what the part that stood out to me was when they said somebody with an invisible disability could work HR, it sounded like. So maybe they were suggesting
what did the
that.
friend say that was offensive?
She said, "Must be a good deal for HR since you can work like a normal person, normal is in quotes, and participate to a quota of disabled workers. It will give you more job opportunities."
I mean, okay, I'm gonna be 100% honest with the person here. Whoever said that to them is not wrong. If you have
You're 20.
disability,
Okay, go ahead.
if you have disabilities, you do have job opportunities at other places because it makes the company look good. Now, I'm not saying it's an ethical thing, but it's it is something that is true. Jobs do want to hire people with disabilities because, again, makes them look good, makes them look inclusive. Doesn't
But
mean
a
they care
tax
about
break isn't
you.
going to be worth a liability when you show them that you're actually a physical liability for that company to get hurt
Well,
on site.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
well,
going to find a way to get rid of you.
it really depends at the company you're at because some places, like if you get hurt on site, they will pay for your entire medical visit during work hours. They'll Uber you to the place, so Uber you back. Um, and these are true things. Not
Work
everywhere is like that,
comes at a
but
cost for sure.
it does. Everything comes at a cost, though, and that's just today's world when it comes with how everything is. But I can see where you would be offended in that because it's kind of calling you like I don't know, but I think just
Lucky to
for
have a
me,
disability.
yeah, but I think just for me at this point, I just kind of take it with a grain of salt. I'm like, okay, like you don't understand my disability. It's still going to be hard for me at work. I still might get fired for having my disability at the end of the day at work. But whatever, your ignorance is bliss, and it's not always my job to, you know, if someone doesn't want to listen and doesn't want to hear you, you can't make them listen. You can't make them hear you. And the best advice I can give that person is to either educate them that on how they really feel, if they feel it's necessary, or to just let it pass. And if they make any future comments, then say something.
I'm gonna
Because
jump in here
maybe,
because I think this person said that they're in France, and just to comment that I hate to say this, but I have some experience with French people, and it's super different with employment and social relations. Like it's wildly different. Lufa, I think you probably said something really good that like maybe just fucking ignore them. But French people love to bully each other. So there's that, and also employment. I'm not even sure what the question is, but I don't think if unless we have a French person, this is not going to be a question that we can really like speak to.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's a
that's
good
very
point. I didn't
true.
realize it was a different country.
That is very true. I mean, for me specifically, like growing up, I was called sped a lot because I have autism and whatnot, and the R word, which I don't like to say personally. And when people say that now or try to insult me for having autism, I take it with a grain of salt because it's been my whole life, and if I don't want to use my emotional, I don't want to use all that energy on someone just being ignorant. I can try and educate them, but if at the end of the day they want to keep being a bully and keep not understanding, that's them. Then that's my choice to continue going on and being their friend or being around them sometimes you have to work with people that you don't like, and that's just life. That is just how things are, and the world is not perfect.
You know
You
what?
just have to be around people that are shitty, and that is it.
Yeah. And you know what? I have been an HR manager at more companies than I can count, and there's always going to be somebody that you don't really get along with or you don't really like. So, I mean, you're very young to have
Not
already figured
everyone's
this out, my dear. Just so you know.
not everyone's your cup of tea, and that's okay. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone's my cup of tea. That's okay. Not everyone has the same views. That's okay. If everyone did, then shit would be weird. Things would be like cultish. Imagine if we lived
we
in a
would
world where
all be
everyone was the same. It would be like a cult. It's
we'd
great
all
that
be
we have different views and different opinions. It's just good to coexist. And if someone doesn't understand, we have to acknowledge that you cannot force a person to understand. You cannot force somebody into your religion. You cannot, it's who they are at the end of the day is who they are.
The
And
brain is
Something,
you
amazing
just,
how it adapts, though. Check this out.
yes.
They're saying scientists studied 6 patients who had half of their brain removed during childhood, and there is an image here. It says it's noted for is coming from discovermagazine.com, so I'm assuming it's valid. But yeah, it's clearly an MRI with half of the brain just gray. It says they showed how the mind rewired itself to adapt, with the remaining hemisphere forming even stronger connections that let the patients develop language and motor skills. So, I mean, even the brain can let humans be survivors.
I
Wouldn't be
mean,
surprised if stuff didn't taste the same.
growing up, I had to fight and fend for myself a lot and adapt a lot. I moved around a lot and I was bullied a lot. So I learned to find a way to make myself comfortable and to make myself feel safe. And part of that is someone saying something so small and ignorant shouldn't bother me. Like I can, okay, I'm pale, like who cares? I don't want to be super tan. I don't care. If you want me to be super tan, that's your problem. That's something that you care about. But guess what? I don't. And to me, it's a great mindset.
So did anybody else ever have to kind of relearn or adapt to do something after, maybe when the seizures were bad at the beginning or less controlled? It's pretty amazing hearing about how some of these people had um, resections and had to relearn a lot, but it still was their best chance back in the day of getting rid of seizures.
I was in my 20s, my teens, so I kind of just went about life and nobody cared to learn anything about it or explain anything to me. So we just left the hospital like, oh, you have epilepsy, you're going to take these. And we never talked about it. So,
Relearning with the ECT has been weird, but it wasn't directly related to the epilepsy, so I don't know. But that was a procedure technically, and then not invasive, but it was forcing me to convulse, and it is resetting a section of my brain, a targeted area of my brain, to completely kind of transform.
I think I was always really guilty after those like forced seizures when I had to get them on record before, leading up to the surgery to get things approved. I felt like because I know I'm like killing brain cells, so
Oh
I
yeah.
felt really stupid making it happen, but
People
they
do whip
wouldn't
it,
accept,
so
yeah, they wouldn't accept the seizures from, I think, 4 months prior. They needed
Yeah.
more recent evidence to approve future procedures.
I'm afraid of getting a surgery, I think.
It's
Like
risky.
it is, and I think right now, at least if the Breviac does its job, hopefully then I won't have to do any alternative treatments, but if not, then
So I'm sure you will do your own research. Ask the right questions, be your own advocate. That's the only thing I wish I knew back then.
Yeah.
I'm not
But
in
then
a
again, if they
hurry.
told me it was going to be a robot arm, maybe I would have walked out. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd do surgery because I mean, the same exact hospital, I watched my husband have brain surgery and recover there. And I'm not saying they're not great, but when he talked and the surgeons said it's a miracle and walked out of the recovery room in the ICU, yeah, I didn't know I would be put in the same position to like decide whether I would have brain surgery in the same place with the same doctors. And I have to say, I'd try just about anything else. And that's not that I don't thank them for saving him and him being okay, because it is a miracle. But, you know, they didn't tell us the truth. And what my epileptologist said is, you'll still have to take medicine for the rest of your life, and you'll still have seizures. So why am I going to do it then? I don't know, man. It has to be way, way worse before I go for that. Anybody else?
Yeah, I feel you. Why do this if I'm still gonna have seizures?
I'll
That's a
do,
thing.
yeah.
We're
Sorry,
not
go.
all like Kevin. We get 7 years after our seizures just gone.
We know.
Yeah.
I would do the
to.
VNS. The VNS is the least invasive, and in some cases, like my case, it can help with more than just the epilepsy. So,
I
but
would
yeah, going in my brain tissue, no, I don't want to do that. No.
no, I would definitely wait, especially since ECT was a last resort for us and for me, and it's not like a negative thing, but it's not a positive is the best way I can explain it, is the outcome. It's not negative or positive. It's just an outcome.
Katie, I think
I
you're
don't
very,
even like
very, very strong to do it. And I know that you did it for your kids. And that's, I admire you completely for doing that. And I know I'm chicken poop for not doing it.
No, not at all. You're trusting your intuition. At this point, after raising a family, you have the best sense for just, what's right and what's wrong, especially for you. And I know, aside from, again, I can't go back, so it's useless on thinking about it, but they probably sold me the RNS more than the
Yeah,
VNS. I don't have notes. Didn't keep, or not that I chose to review every after visit summary,
right.
but
Mhm.
I'm sure they didn't detail in there why RNS was recommended over VNS. And maybe that's why I had to have so many on record tonic-clonics to
Right.
convince them that I had so many focal points that VNS just wouldn't cut it.
Right. Or that
So,
they couldn't sell it to the insurance without that number.
and that's the thing, since those seizures were induced, I've always been suspicious that maybe it did appear that I had more focal points, that these breakthroughs
Mm-hmm. I understand.
might have actually been managed another way, but too little too late.
Yeah.
At this point, we just go back, and so far, no talk about replacing the battery yet. So, happy
Okay.
with that.
That's good. That's good.
Yep.
All right,
Handling
I'm
one
sorry
day
I
at a time.
butted in, everybody. I'll be quiet now.
For a compliment? No, never hating on that.
But I do think about it a lot. I think about how strong you are. And Annie, I'm sorry. I think about how
Sarah,
strong
Mom, you're
each
on
of you
our mind
guys
every
are.
day. We know how much you go through, especially after all this and at a celebration and a cluster hits. Oh,
Oh gosh, yeah, we
that's
missed you.
unbearable.
My poor
Yeah.
baby. And
We
then
all go through it, yeah.
I found out that the graduation picture my husband took of me and my son did not turn out. Ah!
That
Oh,
bad,
It's
huh?
okay. It's okay. It'll be fine. He's wonderful. And
but
he's
you
up
still
here.
got other pictures to remember it by.
Tons. It'll be fine.
Exactly. So there's that. And the graduation, did you get to do a cap toss thing?
They did. I screamed like a maniac when he went on stage, like like it was a
Let's
sports
go.
event, like when he played football.
That's exciting. I can picture you with your face painted and
Like,
being one of those moms. Yes.
yeah, I didn't see too many other moms doing it either, so I don't know. I felt okay about it though. Anyway, I'm sorry I took over there. I know you guys are talking about other things.
No
I just
hate,
had
no
to say
hate.
it.
Now I can
Don't
maybe look forward to
worry.
something like that.
We missed you, Sailor Mom.
Oh, I missed you guys too.
So glad you made it here.
It's
Right.
been something else.
I'm a
Anyway,
way bigger fan of pictures since diagnosis because I know I don't remember things how they really were. Between the apartment and the condo, I've confused those two places so many times, and they were
I'm
totally different
sorry.
worlds. And
Yeah.
daughter has to be the one to correct me all the time, saying, no, we took those curtains from the apartment and they were in the condo, but that was just 3 years ago, not 5.
Right. Oh gosh, I'm
Yeah,
so
I feel
sorry.
goofy.
Yeah, I do too a lot of the time. Phew. Thank goodness for daughters, right? You too, Pookie, right? You got a daughter or several.
Got a few. So I got something here, and it says, "Am I wrong to say I'm ready to give up on life? No, I'm not suicidal, never have been, but I am sick and tired of living with epilepsy. It has ruined every facet of life, every job I had. Oh, can't have the customer seeing that. We'll put you on call, meaning you're fired, but legally we can't actually fire you. I have been unable to do work that I would actually enjoy. Can't join the armed forces, can't be a police officer, can't be a firefighter, can't be a paramedic, and dating. That's been an absolute joke. Women want to see a masculine man who can pick them up for dates. Back when I was breaking the rules and was driving around dating was no problem. But after having multiple accidents, I've given up the car now. Now I sound like a loser asking them to pick me up for a date. Haven't been able to get anything past a second date. Well, in that case, just focus on your hobbies and things that make you happy. Last I checked, you need a vehicle to get out to the wilderness to go hunting and carry you a deer or birds back to your home. Even if there was a bus that goes anywhere near the mountains, they will probably freak out as I board with my guns and my other gear. I can't hold a steady job with this stupid disease, can't get a romantic partner, can't even enjoy my personal hobbies. I'm ready to say screw it and just get a car again because the risk is much better than living this miserable life. The question was, am I wrong to say I'm ready to give up on life?
Sounds like this person just needs to jump in here. We've gone over this, quite a few times, and that suggestion of finding somebody else, they're not totally discrediting somebody else with a disability or with epilepsy, even who would obviously understand you on a different level. But it's got to be different for guys.
Yeah, I could see where it's coming from.
Yeah, that guy saying the whole like I gotta be masculine and I
There
can't
are
drive,
women,
but
plenty of women out there who
exactly,
just, if
there's
it's a
somebody for
nice
everybody.
guy, they're willing to take care of him. I mean, really? I mean, I don't know.
You're never gonna meet somebody and fall in love like
Gotta
right
be
away.
somebody, right? I feel really bad for young people, and I mean that for you guys that are young on here too, because you guys have a lot harder time finding people than I think we used to. I don't know. For some reason, yeah, for some reason it's just a lot, and then if you've got the epilepsy too, then it's just another sort of hurdle.
We just said the same thing. Yes.
Let's call it. Yeah, I think so. I mean, but don't, oh God, I hate to say this, don't give up on life when I've been feeling so freaking crappy lately. but I'm not gonna do that. And I think we all agree they should not do that. Yes?
Yeah.
Everybody here?
I agree. Don't give up.
I agree.
Find one thing each day that you can find happiness or joy or pleasure in. Anything. A bowl of oatmeal. I don't care. Your dog, your cat, the
Going
cute
to
old couple
family.
walking down the road. Whatever the heck it is for you, find at least one thing every day, and then you can think about that one thing when you're going to sleep and you're having that really hard time when you're like, my life sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. You know what I mean, guys? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can get on Tinder if you're watching this.
I mean,
That
Just
too,
throwing
but
that
don't
out
let
there.
people make you feel bad either. That's sucky.
Now,
Yeah.
if you can
This
be
is
resourceful enough to find a way to get out with epilepsy,
Hey,
Okay,
maybe
I was gonna say that.
maybe make a friend who's a hunter. That's It's
The
gotta be like
just make
thing
sure the
about
hunter isn't holding a gun and epilepsy. Yeah,
that's what
Yeah.
I'm like a little
I like
concerned that
freedom.
his state's gonna take its guns away, honestly. But even so, if you want to go out and hike with your friend with some people, I'm sure there's hiking groups. You don't even need
Sorry,
to
Pookie, I keep interrupting you.
You probably don't even need to know them. You
Right.
can probably join online. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there, but there's usually more resources than we realize. You might as well look before you give up. And come on here and talk to us, damn it. And I'm gonna shut up now.
This is one of the
Like,
darker
for me, like,
sides
I have
of
problems with like talking, like,
epilepsy.
and stuff like that. Honestly, I mean, like, I have problems like talking and stuff like that. So
Sorry.
But you don't have to talk. You can come on here and just listen. You don't even have to turn your camera on.
Yeah. Try to make people as comfortable as they want to be, as comfortable as possible. There was something I was gonna say.
We interrupted you so many times. There's no way you can remember. It was something about meeting other people with the same condition, maybe? I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah, the thing
Okay.
he was saying about being the masculine and you got to go pick a girl up and all that. I've been asked to pick me up a few times, and I pointed it out right then and there. I have epilepsy. Wherever we're going, I'm catching an Uber, and either you're going with me or that. But I always pointed it out right then and there. I have epilepsy, and I have children. If you can get past that, then yeah, I can't pick you up. That's another thing. Yeah. Other than that, I can get where I need to get Uber. But yeah, like I said, you gotta throw that out there at first. Like, I have epilepsy. Do you know what this is? And I hate explaining stuff to people, but sometimes you have to when it comes to dating.
Especially if you know their motivations. If you're at some school event and somebody's obviously asking you out, yeah, that's their motivations right from the beginning, so it's going to be a waste of time otherwise. They don't know.
I got a long one, so you guys got to listen. It says, my epilepsy has resulted in me despising and hating America and living here. My whole 32 years has been nothing but survival and planning ahead for loss. Missed 3 days in a year at work, got fired. Lost health insurance, so I go get government health insurance, make $10 over the poverty limit, and lose the insurance. But that job won't offer health insurance, so back to the factory. Miss the 3 days and repeat the cycle. Just last year, I lost my job because of missing a few days with my epilepsy. And that same day, I went home to open my mail and find out I was getting renovicted. Is that like renovated and evicted?
I would just go with evicted.
Yeah, it says I found out I was getting renovicted after a corporate bought my apartment building and wanted to switch to renting Airbnbs. I ended up living in my van with my 4 little kitties and for 3 months with epilepsy. It didn't totally suck. I found it relaxing but still dangerous, given my chance for a seizure, and car accident shot way up. The people in this country too. They scream I shouldn't drive because I can hurt someone, and in that same breath scream I'm not entitled to disability. Joke's on them, as much as it's almost impossible to get disability anyways, because I'm constantly forced to work. So according to the government, I can work. So from that, I pull this country doesn't want to help me at all and would rather just go off and die in a hole. I finally resorted to calling my parents after 7 years of no contact due to them being extremely abusive when I was a child. So I can have a home to live in that's cheap and where people are near me in case I fall and hit my head. That at least has been going surprisingly well. They both apologized and gave me a tiny home on their land. I have been here now for a year with no conflict, but I have no hope of moving out because rent and cost of living is way too high for me being disabled and having to job hop constantly. I used to work as much as possible until I got fired, save up money and pay off my rent and pay my rent off for 4 months while I was unemployed. And that's not possible anymore. Living in America while disabled is an absolute joke while our presidents fight over who golfs better. People scream universal health care is communism and jobs have more rights than I do. Am I wrong in my thinking process? The driving part. I say you can't just be like, hey, I'm gonna drive just because I want to. Yeah, it sounded like he just didn't care for people's lives. I'm not gonna get behind the wheel because I couldn't live with myself killing someone, knowing that I have epilepsy.
Yeah. I think that's when I came into accepting it that I have epilepsy was the driving part. Like I did everything except get my final license, and that's when a breakthrough hit. And I said, nope, I'm not going to do it. You know?
Yeah, I think for a lot of people losing the driver's license, that side of your or that aspect of independence in your life is kind of when you have to accept it. That took a long time for me too.
I can't have nobody else's life on my hands.
I got something here. Genuine question. I can't do anything. How on earth do you get over the fact that you can't do anything because your stupid epilepsy is ruining your independence? You're not being aimed at anyone, just in the place of me. Anybody want to help this person?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question?
Genuine question. How on earth do you get over the fact that you can't do anything because your stupid epilepsy is ruining your independence? You're not being aimed at anyone, just in place of me.
I mean, choose not to focus on that. It sounds a lot easier than it is, but
Yeah.
one step at a time, one day at a time. Come talk to us for starters. What do you
Yeah, I
miss the
can't
most
say.
about your old life and figure out how to get back to that or replace that or something. Adapt.
Yeah, mainly thing I can say is to someone who's just getting it, it gets better with time. Might take some time and some time to denial that everything because I was in a lot of denial. Thinking it's my fault, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, it gets better with time. I've been doing this for 20 years, so yeah, mine has got extremely better in the 5 to 10 year rate. I actually start paying attention to get my health better for my kids and family and all that. I was running wild before that. I didn't care about anything. I was just joining gangs, doing a bunch of stuff that I'm not doing now. But
Go ahead, Rick.
Well, you know me, focus on the positive, right? Look at what you can do and go with that. If you can sit down and read a book, then make time for yourself to read a book and enjoy it. If you can help your neighbors cleaning their house, help your neighbors clean the house. And that way you feel like, not that you're ever worthless, but I can imagine if you can't do the 10 things you like to do, or have to have people drive you around, you are going to feel a little bit worthless. So you find out what you can do and help around. One of the things that I was upset with was I couldn't help out cleaning the church and doing other things for other people. So I prayed about it, and that brought me to Reddit, where I was able to find people who I'm able to talk with, and I'm able to calm people down, not only with epilepsy, but other things too, and able to serve that way. So you find things that you can do and you run with it. I think that's what you need to focus on, not all the things you lost. You make yourself a journal of all the things you can do and, add to it.
I love that. I feel like Rick is just like, talk to Rick. Send Rick a message because it will brighten your day. And like he just is so good at, I'm a big Rick fan, so I'm just gonna say that. I'll move on from that. I'm also like the dark side of what Rick is saying, and I think too, just like feel useless for a little bit. Like that's okay. That's totally normal. Um, Annie, it's totally normal. Like you are useless to yourself at first, and you don't know how to make yourself useful, and that just kind of comes with time, and it's slow. Like right now, my partner is making me dinner because I can't go in the kitchen because there's knives everywhere, and I'll fling them across back into my face. So you just have to like do it step by step. I'm not at the point Rick is at. I'm still trying to work it out, and it's hard. Like it's been hard on my partner to have to like do everything. But it'll come with time. And I don't know how old this person is, but I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, I put off waiting to go to the doctor for years, so I was in a lot of denial, and that's okay. I mean, it's good that you're starting it now, and you'll have to just go through it.
Yeah, if anything, that beginning little, time of feeling useless makes it even better when you do succeed past that and make it work.
yeah, the denial was rough. Got past it here.
I was going to
Something
say
else.
one thing.
Go ahead.
One thing I wasn't planning on was having a child, and that completely changed my whole world. Like just bringing in one, it's a whole difference to everything. And Pookie can attest for him being a father of 6 of them. So,
Come on, man.
but,
You throwing them out there?
yeah, like raising a child is a big game changer for somebody with epilepsy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you did this.
Yeah. When I found out I had a child on the way, I was in a careless state at that point, and I was just like, all right, time to get some money, and did what I had to do, and yeah, move forward. I got something here though. It says, did you get blamed for your seizures? That's the question, and it's first, but I got to read all this. There's a story behind it. I was wondering how many people diagnosed with epilepsy today, tonic-clonic, absent seizures, or both, have been told that you're having seizures because of the life you're living. When I first started having seizures at 18 years old, I was blamed for them. It was my fault because I was going clubbing with my friends and had alcohol in the nightclub, so I needed to live as a nun and nothing else would happen. I kept having seizures, regaining consciousness at the hospital or in the ambulance for 20 years. They told me the EEG didn't show anything, so I was told I wasn't epileptic. I just had all the symptoms and needed Tegretol and Keppra twice a day religiously. Then 4 years ago, abnormal waves consistent with the ones observed in epilepsy were observed. I was finally diagnosed and then told I'm disabled. I wasn't a slacker for struggling at work. I wasn't a drama queen, like they said, for 20 years. Then about 6 months after that, my dad started to have seizures. So now they're like, obviously it's been passed down genetically. They act like everything is fine, but 20 years they blamed me and shamed my lifestyle. I was hearing I was lazy, a slacker who just didn't want to work like anyone else. When I was saying I was exhausted, I had YH. We all are. Get a grip. Slackers stay. Get a grip. Slackers to stay home, but you'd be dead with that attitude. If I had a beer on a warm day, well, don't complain when you have a fit. Oh, he's saying what someone else says. They all act like it's fine to those 20 years didn't exist, and I should just let go. Of course, I'm glad the nightmare is over and finally get help, but it's been tough hearing all those things over 20 years. Sometimes my family and friends themselves. So I wanted to know how many people are in the same boat. How many got blamed for their own epilepsy or told they didn't have epilepsy at all. I'm sorry if the rant was long. The spelling was horrible, but anyway. I'm so sorry for that.
Spelling is bad,
Cookie,
but
cut that.
we really are we really are
I'm
educated.
not. Anyhow, letting them know the spelling was horrible, then they'll get it. It'll get better. Everything gets better with time. You guys want to help this person out?
What was, I'm
Somebody.
sorry,
Just come read the
what
chat.
was
Everything's
the-
Rick said in the chat is like spot on.
They can't read the chat.
Okay. So here we go. I'm trying to put all Rick's stuff together. Okay. Yes, such a drastic difference. Okay, yeah, after Beyonce. All right. But key for me was to remember what I was able to accomplish because so many people in the world are not able to do what we have accomplished, and it gives those close to us to be able to return that kindness that we showed them. So basically appreciate anything that you can around you and use that to focus on. Did I miss anything else in the question that the original post was asking?
I think they said something about if anybody else got blamed. Sia was saying her mother-in-law thinks that she's a manipulative person and epilepsy isn't real. But her husband and her children have seen otherwise.
Yeah, now I found that chat. That's definitely one that just doesn't even deserve your focus or time or energy. I mean, in-laws, come on, they have that reputation for a reason.
Well, I'll chime in and say they thought that the original question was somebody thought they were manipulating them or they were blaming them. Is that right?
Yeah, thought they were faking. Said they were faking their seizures for 20 years. And then when they found out they weren't faking, they just wanted them to forgive the things that they said basically in those 20 years. It's basically what I'm getting from it.
Damn, okay, that's going to be a process. And also, I feel like sometimes you don't ask for forgiveness, you just go back into somebody's life and show them forgiveness, like ask for it in what you're doing, and hopefully that person is listening to this because I think they need to hear that. And that's something that you really, maybe they can say it to their family or friend, I don't know. But I think a lot of us go through something similar like that, like Sia just said. For me, Pookie, don't cut this. My family thinks that I'm a drug addict still, because let's be clear, in my 20s, I was not sober. I've been to Burning Man. Figure you guys do the math. So I think that I did have a massive seizure after fun that I had in my 20s, but trying to explain that to them just makes it seem to them like I'm more of a drug addict. And sometimes, I mean, this person is past that point, but for everybody else, sometimes you just have to cut people out of your life. So if they're asking for forgiveness and you don't want to give it, you don't have to.
Oh, like I'll try.
If I can add on to that, I mean, I did drink a lot in my 20s. I was a binge drinker, but I didn't do a lot of drugs, but I wish people did. I wish people were more honest with me. You know, I wish my neurologist would just come out straight and say, if you keep drinking like this, you are going to die. Because it was on that track at some point. You know, my liver was, uh, that's true. She just said that the drinking's bad for you. But my liver was getting to the point where I, it, it was, I was getting fatty liver disease, and but I had to make my own choice. I had to realize that my drinking was killing me. She didn't tell me that, you know. I had to make my own choices, and she didn't tell me that. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, I had to make my own revelations, and people around me didn't tell me these things. And honesty, I mean, honesty is just so important from other people. But I don't know if um, I can equate that with blaming.
Is there a way that I could chime in by any chance?
Please do.
Go ahead.
Yeah, like I with Kevin's statements, it's so honestly true because I had a friend I had a friend who was my roommate, and it was back in my college years. I mean, and when we were and like we're still friends still head on, but just like like I believe I hanged out with a person that drank way too much, and that drank way too much at a wrong given place at a wrong given time, and like and I believe that might be the main cause of of having of believe having epileptic seizures, and there's a story that I had, and there was in Gasbro 2019, and because I was trying to sleep, and basically my roommate my roommate that I had basically actually kept yelling and kept drinking for no reason. Can drinking cause epilepsy? I mean, yes. I mean, drinking can cause epilepsy. I mean, I mean, because I used to be like a whiskey drinker, and I don't really and now I don't drink whiskey like that anymore. That's why I kind of stopped drinking for a lot of reasons. And I never told people. I never told my friends about it, nor my family, because my friends think that I'm crazy, and my family thinks that I'm that I won't change, and they won't do any. I won't change, and I won't do anything to acknowledge by it. So I just gave up, and I mean so I just gave up and left, and my mom kept keeps begging me to come back to her place, and I literally said no.
Did you say that the alcohol caused epilepsy, or did you mean caused seizures?
I mean, like, alcohol can. I was saying like alcohol causes seizures. So, like some parts of alcohol.
Okay,
Hey,
because I thought you said it
Jason,
caused epilepsy. I thought you said that.
Jason, so when I was at the EMU, I asked, because I so had it in my mind that it was my fault. Um, at the same time, my sister and I have the same type. But they told me drugs don't cause epilepsy. They can cause seizures. Um, but it might exacerbate if you already have epilepsy or like cause it to become apparent. I don't know if that's the same for drinking, but every time you say it, it hurts my heart a little bit because I don't believe that drinking caused your epilepsy, but I'm not a doctor.
I never went. I don't think that alcohol or drugs caused my epilepsy, but I know from when I did take them and I had my own addictions, they definitely induced my seizures a lot more, for sure, like more than regularly. But I'm not sure if they would cause it necessarily.
Yeah, yeah, I'm like, yeah, like just like when I was like in like my second rehab, it was at Banyan at in Sebring, Florida, and like I remember there was this one dude that had said something that like if you're taking whiskey, if you're taking with like if I'm drinking whiskey, like because I used to be like a whiskey drinker. I mean like I don't really believe like with people saying that stuff, but like I mean like because like I think whiskey it actually has sugar in it, and that's why like that's why I kind of started to know like I kind of have seizures because of whiskey adding sugar to it.
On a different note here, I'm seeing a post from uh, not too long ago. Somebody's decided to say that epilepsy is the worst and best thing that happened to me.
I seen that.
We all struggled with epilepsy differently. I'm privileged to have mine under control, but road to that point was a real struggle. Saying that there are some ways that epilepsy changed my life for the better. One, I got my first seizure after gaming abnormal amount of time. After having couple other seizures during gaming, I was forced to stop it for good. I'd probably still be stuck in Eastern Europe if that didn't happen. Gaming was my escape, and I finally needed to control everyday life. Two, booze. I needed to learn to have fun without alcohol. It was rough in the beginning, but eventually it just became second nature. Three, when I immigrated to the US, I was about to get back into trucking because my friends were making an ungodly amount of money compared to me. Fortunately, my dad got my original doctor to call me and tell me that's a big no-no. So I was forced to stick with barbering and my life is so much better now. Number four, overall outlook to life. After having to deal with seizures, I have much higher sense of urgency, can prioritize better, and I'm teaching myself and my family to prioritize health over everything. So I can definitely agree on that last point. The only positive thing that I think is like an everyday thing is again just like this could be the last time. So every decision really does count more, I think, after diagnosis. What do you guys think?
I'll
Come
say
on, guys.
something.
We're trying to help people here.
Well, since I probably definitely absolutely had it as a kid, I'm gonna say getting treatment is the best thing that's ever happened to me and the worst. Like the epilepsy drugs have made my brain work a lot better, like it hasn't since I was in college. They also suck, but like Kate was saying, like you have to um you have to do something. You have to organize better. You have to plan better. I think that's the gist of what you were saying, like things what you
Prioritize.
prioritize. Like it has more, it's more weighted what you're doing. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, also I get euphoric seizures, so they can take them from my cold dead hands. All seizures are not terrible, just saying. I have some music videos on now, so strap it.
Yeah, so Rick, you're just getting here, and there was a question we had earlier for everyone just joining. Would you take $1 million over the cure for your epilepsy?
Heck yeah.
All right. What about you, Tom? Oh, there you
So
go.
I just walked in the door.
Hi, Tom.
Hello,
Welcome.
everyone.
Thanks
How's
for
everybody
joining.
doing? Thanks for having me.
Always, anytime.
Welcome back, Tom.
Tom, would
Hey,
you take $1 million over the cure? Would you choose $1
$1
million
million for
or
what?
your epilepsy cured?
I'm sorry, you completely lost me.
$1 million or no epilepsy?
Well, my current situation, I might take $1 million.
Yeah, we had a lot of different opinions.
Hold on a minute. Tracy, I was just asked if I would take $1 million or to keep my epilepsy.
I take the $1 million.
That's what I said. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to go with the $1 million.
Love it. You're both on the same page. That's beautiful.
I mean, I think we've all made it to a point in our lives where, I mean, hey, it is what it is, right?
Yep. For me, 20 years,
Yep.
it's just, this is what it's going to be.
Okay, and
Ain't going nowhere.
I see Mark. How you doing there, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing well. You're a new face. I haven't met you before.
Oh, yeah, Tom is a regular. Mark is a new regular. It's
A
two
new
times in a
regular?
row.
2 times in a row. Yeah. This past Friday was my first time.
Well, that's great. Glad to have you, my friend.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. It's been good. Sorry, I'm really tired now. It's late here.
It's all right. If
The
you want
Where
to
you
go,
at?
go ahead.
Mark, where you at?
Florida.
Oh, okay.
Florida?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of
Yeah, so it's
the
10:30 right now.
Central Florida.
Yeah. Okay, it's
Can
10:30.
watch
That's my
rockets going up.
bedtime.
Huh?
Yeah. 10:30 is about my bedtime too.
Yeah. Yeah. Close enough to watch the rockets going up from Kennedy Space Center. So, yeah, within that radius here.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'll tell you what. You do look out of it, my friend. So
Yes.
if you need to go to bed, then maybe you need to go to bed. It probably might be better for you, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Wise words from Tom the Witness.
Sweet
Hey,
dreams.
hey. Well, I've been there, you know what I mean? I think we all
Yes.
have.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
I've worked the last couple of days, but
I look forward to speaking with you when I am a little bit more clear-headed.
Friday?
okay, we'll do this again sometime.
You
For
Yeah.
sure.
enjoy.
All right.
Give
Take
that
care,
cat a
everyone.
All right.
cuddle.
Haley, you enjoy.
Bye.
See you Friday.
Yes.
All right.
So Pokey,
Yes.
there was a gentleman that I talked to. Remember, I sent you a text. You told me you would look for him today.
Yeah.
Did you have any new face show up today?
There was so many new faces. It was hard to keep
Oh,
track.
wow. Was there really?
I think there were
Conversation was going
16
really
members
fast.
at one point.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
Yeah, it was showing
Conversations
up.
were just flowing. Yeah. So
Yeah, and I didn't even show up for a couple hours in. And when I pulled up the screen, there were 4 rows of like, 4 pictures. So yeah, there was like 16 or 20 people.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was a
that's
big
that's
help.
great. That's great.
Yeah, we're all spreading the word.
That's it. There you go. Spread the word.
Okay, I got something
You all,
here.
you know what? You guys keep spreading the word like this. You guys might become witnesses.
Too
You need
dark.
to get
Be
under
careful.
my belt here, and you come out and spread the word with me.
One step at a time.
There you go.
This post here
There
is
you go,
reading.
Kate.
So people with epilepsy are actually geniuses, and they just post some, cute little graphic of a couple actors saying, "What if we use 100% of the brain?" I'm sure these are famous lines from movies that I just don't know. And then the other one is saying, "All neurons firing at the same time is called a seizure." And I guess this was just posted to see how many smiles they could get out of it, because all the comments are just going back and forth saying like, why would you try to call yourself a genius just because you have a disability? And somebody's saying, yeah, okay, next time post a graphic with a bunch of flashing lights, and I guess bet you'll get a bunch of different responses. So anybody ever had somebody try to spin it that hard for you? Anybody, loved one saying, this could actually be something good? That's
No, but
pushing it.
I think that we are better than other people. And Pokey, yeah, it's Pokey now. Sorry, Tom got in my head.
It's
Pokey.
getting late.
Oh my God. Okay. What's the question? No, we are better than other people. Don't
Wasn't
cut this.
Pokey Gumby's sidekick? Wait a minute.
We're
And
awesome.
yes. And does anybody feel like Gumby during their seizures? Because I've been saying that for a while.
Yes.
Say what? Gumby?
Gumby.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I do feel like Gumby, honestly, a little bit.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.